Welcome in. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to make a production schedule for your business content. Now, for me, my name is Vince Quinn. I'm the executive producer for SBX Productions, which means we make business podcasts for various business owners and marketing agencies. We also do this for ourselves. So all the things that I'm talking about today with production schedule, these are things that we do for our clients. These are things that we do for ourselves, and I'm going to lay this all out for you step by step. So we're going to talk about this. And by the way, a couple of quick notes before we really get deep into the process. So first off, have a goal in mind for what your content is, right? If you don't understand fully what you want to accomplish from the content that you're making, what that exact goal is. For example, SBX, the content that SBX makes, it's all about lead generation. So that's how it's all focused, what the content is about, where it's placed, the kinds of links we share. All of that is all focused on that single goal of lead generation. So do you have that kind of goal? What is it? And if not, then you're not ready for a full production schedule yet. Same thing when it comes to just doing the episodes, right? Say you want to do a new season of a brand new podcast or a new season of an existing show. If the show currently isn't doing what you like, or you think the format can be better, if you think it's not fully aligned with the goals that you have, then same thing. I wouldn't worry about a full production schedule yet. Go back, check your goals, check the format, tighten those things up. And then this phase, the production schedule phase, is you have that foundation in place, and now you want to do it again and again at scale is basically the idea. So with that being said, let's talk about production schedules a little bit more. So production schedules work best when you have a set day and time. And for the purposes of this conversation, let's just say for us together, me and you, we're doing a show together right now, okay? We're best friends. We've got our new podcast. Get excited. I'm a very chatty co-host. We're going to have a regular day and time that we record, and that's going to be Tuesdays at noon. So every Tuesday at noon, we're going to get together, and we're going to do an episode of the show to generate leads for our business. We're going to pick that time because it's easy and it's repetitive. There's so much work with everything else that you have to do as a business owner, as a host, just as a person in the world, as a parent, as a sibling, whatever you got going on. Like there's so many things. So as much as anything can be automatic, that's what you want. For example, Albert Einstein. I heard this example. I have no idea if this is true, but it's a great example and I love it. So the idea was that Einstein wore the same thing every day. And the idea of this was it was less for him to think about, so he could put his energy into actual real problems concerning energy, believe it or not. So that's what he did. That makes sense, right? So set day and time, you don't have to think about it. It's the same time each time, and you're always building and growing what you do. So that is step one of building a successful production schedule. The second thing is, in building a production schedule, you have to plan a batch of topics for what you actually want to produce. I say that this is the second step because with all of the other stages of what you're going to need to do to execute on the day of, the best way to do that is to have prepared topics. So come up with all these different topics. Get in that space. Get in that mindset. Think about things that you're really passionate about that can highlight your business, that show off your expertise, that solve your audience's problems, and really nail those things. You want to think about this in detail, stuff that you have very specific opinions on. Let's say you're a designer, graphic designer, right? And somebody goes, oh, well, I use, Photoshop. And you go, Photoshop? Oh, like I loved that in 2014, not anymore. You know, that's an opinion. That's a strong opinion, okay? Great. You can work with that. That's a topic. Let's dig into that. Why don't you like it anymore? What should people use if they're trying to design graphics? Whatever it might be. But get into that headspace, live there, and write out a bunch of stuff that you think is worth being a topic. Because now you don't have to show up, execute at a high level, and create the concept at the same time on the same day. Record all this stuff or get all this stuff done in advance. It's going to make it easier for the big picture to say, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to prepare this for each week. I'm going to pick one topic, and I'm going to bring it back to our show, me and you. I didn't forget our show, Tuesdays at noon. So that's how you go about planning all of these topics for the production schedule. Once you've planned a bunch of topics for your production schedule, then you start to get into building a buffer. So the whole idea is that you want a lead on everything that you do. which is why the production schedule is based on the buffer. Have room to breathe. Make it easy on yourself. Don't sweat it. If it turns out, you know what, I can't make it in 2 weeks because I'm going on vacation, then no problem. You've already got the buffer. You'll just make up the time down the road. You'll know that instead of having 8 episodes in your buffer, you've only got 7, so you want to make up 1 more. That's totally okay. But you can see how it is that much easier when you've created a buffer to give yourself room for whatever chaos life throws your way. And you might even think, because let's say you're more topical with what you do, so you're trying to be on current events and you want to be active in that way. Time-sensitive topics, you can make room for that within your production schedule. You either have your evergreen stuff in your back burner, and that is just in case of emergency, you can't do the time-sensitive stuff, or if you have time-sensitive things in terms of you have a certain sale in the summertime or a certain service that you want to offer during the holidays, you have things that you can build out content-wise knowing, okay, we have an 8-episode buffer, so an 8-week buffer on what we're looking to do. And so I'm going to record an episode 10 weeks, 9 weeks, whatever it is, before you want that episode out so that you are ready to go for that season and you're not scrambling. And now, God forbid, you don't get to promote your service for that special holiday run, or you don't get to promote the sale that you're running in the summer because you just missed that week. And now you're not getting that promotion, or you're behind on that promotion, and losing that time is damaging to you. That's why you do all of this with the buffer. So it covers really anything. And then the last thing is that make sure your buffer is complete before releasing, because you're going to have this drive to say, oh my God, we have this new show. It's working out so great. I feel so good about it. I want to tell everybody we've got 2 episodes in. We're going to figure this out. The buffer's going to be fine. Let me just get it out there. And everything's not fine because stuff happens and things go crazy and consistency is not always there. So now you've put out all this fuss into a new thing that you rushed out the door. You don't have a buffer. And after 2 weeks, you're going, hey, here's this great thing. Here's this great thing. Here's this great thing. It's gone. You missed a week. Is that setting you up for success? Does that make people feel good? Does that make people feel confident in working with you for your business? Probably not. Probably not. You want to build rhythm, you want to build trust. And consistency in content is trust. If I know that I'm going to get a new episode every Tuesday at noon, then great. But when that stops showing up, I don't know what to expect from you anymore. I don't have your trust. I don't have your belief. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to buy. So wait, relax, and believe in the buffer before you release. So with that, everything from there just comes down to maintaining, because you're live, it's out, you have a production schedule, you've done all this stuff, you know your set date and times, you have a list of topics, you just keep adding on to that as it's going. So it's all there. It's all easy. It's all in motion. But that's all the work you have to do to build the schedule out. So just a quick recap for you. Number 1, set up a regular day and time for your production schedule. Whatever that is, 1 day a week, 1 hour a week, whatever you can do, same day, same time, be consistent. Number 2, plan a batch of topics for your show. As many as you can get. If you can't think of many topics, you might not have a good show. So I would consider what you're talking about, but make sure you have a lot of things on the list so you can be prepared every single week. Number 3, build up a buffer so you don't have to worry about things going wrong, recordings you can't make, guests that can cancel, anything in that kind of space. That's it. That's the run. I hope this gives you a lot of clarity and confidence as well when you go to build a production schedule for your business. So that's all I got for now. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to It's Not Just Talking. Make sure to subscribe wherever you're checking out the podcast. And if you want us to help on your podcast, go to sbxproductions.com or check the show notes to book an appointment.